Okay, elected council and everyone, just a few more seconds and we will be live. Alrighty, I hand it over to you, Shirley.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, Audrey.
There you go, Melba.
Scano.
There you go.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Chief.
How is everybody doing? New Year, yes. This is actually our first meeting of 2021. I hope everybody had a good, safe holiday. Just bringing up the agenda really quick. Okay, so everyone, thank you for joining us and welcome to General Council for January 12th, 2021. Our first beginning, is there any identification of media on the line?
Victoria Gray for the Turtle Island News.
Thank you, Victoria. Are there any further the two-row times representatives? Okay, seeing none. That'll then go into any changes or deletions to the agenda. Okay, seeing or hearing none, then I'll look to a motion to adopt the agenda of January 12th.
Oh, Chief.
Oh, my apologies. Sorry, Michelle.
Were we moving the in-camera info to open? The planning.
So that was. Sorry, so that was just, I see that was raised by Councillor Wright through email. There is a few items that, again, we want to have a strategy session on. So that was the reason for why it was in camera for that portion.
Okay, so I'll move the agenda.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Michelle. Moved by Michelle, second by Carrie. Are there any further questions or comments? Wendy?
Yeah, so everything on the in-camera agenda is for strategy discussions? Because number 2, when I read the accompanying information, I would think that would be for openness and transparency.
Yeah, so that one actually was based on the strategy for next session. We'll definitely look to next pieces for the open session and where we're going on next steps. Is there any further questions or comments? It's been moved and seconded for the agenda. Seeing or hearing none, all in favor? Any opposed? Seeing or hearing none, motion's carried. That leads us in then next to our item number 3, which is the opening address or Mohawk language lesson that we have with Amber Squire. Nuya, Amber.
Nuya. Tehno.
Thank you.
Sego.
Yeah,
Seva
there you
Cuego.
go. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Dogali. Yeah, no problem. Okay, I'm just gonna start. Okay, I have pictures. Ona se wada hu sios kanjokwa. I gali dakwa ne ohando gali dekwa ne ganukola dimsala. Agwega Oscar under the walkway nuni ne ongwani gula dahno diety nu walado ne ungwe sua. Tonio dohok ne ongwani gula. Agwega Oscar donde walkway nuni ne ongwani gula dahno diety nu walado ne yatini stoha o honja. Tonio dohok ne ongwani gula. Agwega Oscar donde walkway nuni ne ongwani gula. Dahno daiti nu walado ne gahne galunio, ji yo honjade, tonio dohak ne angwat ni gola. Agwega Oscar, dunda wahwe nuni ne angwat ni gola, dahno daiti nu walado ne gunjuk suat gundi nagele ne owange, tonio dohak ne angwat ni gola. Agwega Oscar, dunda wahwe nuni ne angwat ni gola, dahno daiti nu walado ne junhekwa. Dahno agwat kung wari kawana nene, honeste osa heda dahno ona onsala. Tonio dohak ne agwat ni gola. Agwega Oscar, donde wahwe nuni ne agwat ni gola, dahno daiti nu walado ne onunkwa sua. Tonio dohak ne agwat ni gola. Agwega Oscar, donde wahwe nuni ne agwat ni gola, dahno daiti nu walado ne gahik sua. Dahno agwat kung wari ko wana ne niyo hondesa. Tonio dohak ni agwat ni gola. Agwega Oscar, on donde wahwe nuni ni agwat ni gola, dahno daiti nu walado ne ojinowa ogua. Tonio dohak ni agwat ni gola. Agwega Oscar, donde wahwe nuni ni agwat ni gola, dahno daiti nu walado ne gundilio. Dahno agwat kung wari ko wana ne oske nundo. Tonio dohak ne agwat ni gola. Agwega Oscar, donde wahwe nuni ne agwat ni gola, dahno daiti nu walado ne galunda sua. Dahno agwat kung wari ko wana ne owata. Tonio dohak ne agwat ni gola. Agwega Oscar, donde wahwe nuni ne agwat ni gola, dahno daiti nu walado ne Oji don ogua, dahno agwat kung wari gawana ne adunyo goa. Tonio dohak ne agwat ni gola. Agwega Oscar, donde wahwe nuni ne agwat ni gola, dahno daiti nu walado ne gayeli ni gawalage. Tonio dohak ne agwat ni gola. Agwega Oscar, donde wahwe nuni ne agwat ni gola, dahno daiti nu walado ne Yunki soto ogun aladi welas. Tonio dohak ne agwat ni gola. Agwega nuni ne agwat ni gola, dahno daiti nu walado ne anchadowajia galakwa. Tonio dohak ne agwat ni gola. Agwega Oscar, donde wahwe nuni ne agwat ni gola, dahno daiti nu walado ne Litini stoha asunta neka wa nidale. Tonio dohak ne agwat ni gola. Agwega Oscar, donde wahwe nuni ne agwat ni gola, dahno daiti nu walado ne yujisto kolonio jit galonyade. Tonio dohak ne agwat ni gola. Agwega Oscar, donde wahwe nuni ne agwat ni gola, dahno donchado wa ni walado ne sangwaya diso. Dahno talu yawago ni ni hostenoda. Etanu dohak neongwa nigola. Etonut kalihwat gweni gina hoda ii kalihwan dakwa. Doga oteno ungate ni goha. Owano easy as a watka we nega ni wala dunsula. Etanika wanage dahno ona eto.
Thank you, Nyawa, so much, Amber,
Yeah.
for that opening address.
Yeah.
Is there any, did you want to, is there any questions or comments for Amber?
It's Melba, Mark. Yeah,
Sure, go ahead, Melba.
yeah. I think it was last meeting I asked her to talk about Guego Uska, and she
Yeah,
did. She
scale,
explained it to.
Yeah.
What about Guanigola? What about that one? What does that mean?
Oh, Nigula? Like, yeah, ngwa Nigula. Agwego ngwa Nigula. So all of ours here in our minds. So Agwego,
Okay.
everybody, ngwa Nigula. All of our minds.
Okay.
And
Does that mean
again,
it should be? Just question. Does that mean it should be in one direction if we're talking about the air? If we're talking about I guess the animals? Is that what it means, that we all agree on it?
yeah, Nigula, like our mind. So the last question was the first part to your specific question was Agwego Oscar and the Wakwe Nuni the last time. And I'm happy you asked that. It's not supposed to be all of our minds are one, or to translate it literally over to English, it gets lost in translation because it sounds like to make a circle with our minds, but really you can use, it does get lost, and it's to wrap. It also means wrap around. So if we can wrap our minds around these subjects of yeah, and our minds will never be the same. If so, there's AI technology going on. I hope everybody's in good spirits and can understand where I'm coming from. I'm saying this with my heart. I absolutely think our world and everything on it is I think the Mother Earth is an enlightened being and very special to be here. Yeah.
Okay, so before I've been told that it means let our put our minds together, and not necessarily does it mean that, right? You said it's like a wraparound.
It can mean that it the context of how you're using it, what you're using it for. So it can be that if you want it to be that. But like I said, our minds aren't going to be the same. For Mother Earth, we can only acknowledge it at our own, like in our own intellect way.
Okay, that's a great explanation, Amber. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
now,
I'm staying. Yeah. I'm staying, but I'm just gonna turn my video off.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for that opening, Amber. Amber, we always look forward to this piece of our agenda. Also, just wanted to give you a quick congratulations on your new role with the Lifelong Learning Task Force as you begin on that new chapter. So congratulations. Okay, Council, we'll then move in to our next piece of the agenda, which is under our delegation/presentation portion. The first part of it is going to be our introduction of our new Six Nations Chief of Police, Chief Darren Montour. So just to give you just a little background, I know Darren's been in the role for some time now, so we were trying our best to coordinate and which leads us to today. So thank you for joining us, Darren. So what I'll do is just do a little quick intro to Darren, and I'll pass it along to the Vice Chair of the Six Nations Police Commission, Alicia Anderson, and then I'll look to go back to the Chief of Police to introduce the new recruits / constables. So just again want to congratulate Darren. Darren is a member of the Mohawk Wolf Clan from Six Nations of the Grand River Territory. He has roughly about 28 and a half years of policing experience with the Six Nations Police. He has currently held the position of frontline officer, sergeant, inspector, acting deputy chief, and now holds the rank of chief of police. Darren has extensive experience in criminal investigations, criminal intelligence, collision reconstruction, and senior management, including attendance at the Rotman Business School of UFT Police Leadership Program. Darren's role in the position of Chief of Police will lend itself to addressing technology, accountability, and continuing to enhance the professionalism of the Six Nations Police Service. And on behalf of the 58th elected Chief and Council, we want to give a warm welcome to Darren and his team and look to work our working relationship as we move forward here in the new year of 2021. So congratulations again to Chief Darren Montour. And at this time, I will now pass the floor to the Vice Chair, Alicia Anderson of the Six Nations Police Commission.
Hi, good evening. Thanks, Mark.
Check that first, maybe.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Okay.
hear you great.
All right. Thanks, Mark. On behalf of the Six Nations Police Commission, we'd like to take this opportunity to introduce Six Nations Police's new police chief, Darren Montour. And just to reiterate, along the bio that was described there, Darren assumed his role as the police chief on August 17th, and he has been with the service for 28 years, working through the ranks of the service as described. He brings a wealth of knowledge to the job and is committed to protecting and serving the community he loves and has grown up in. If Darren wants to take the floor and move on to the next portion.
Okay. Thanks for that, Alicia. Thanks, Chief, for the introduction. And it's, again, as I say to everybody here on my first day, it's an honor and a privilege to be selected as the next Chief of Police for the police service here. And I know there's some trying times we live in, not only with the pandemic engulfing the whole world right now, but other things that are other issues in the community. As since my role started on the 17th of August, it's been one thing after another, as we all know, in this community. And tragically, some of it is sad, which is unfortunate, but that's why we're here. I'm here to help guide these young fellas here in their policing career and make this place better for all of us. So, and I know there's a lot of issues that are going on in the community right now. And my thing is, since taking over, is to help us get up and out from behind the technology 8-ball that all First Nation services are facing right now across the country. So I'm here to try and change that to make us leaders in the policing world. So with that, I'd like to introduce, if Tyson, you stand up, Constable Tyson Bomber. So Tyson is the son of Acting Inspector Tim Bomber. I've known this young fella since he was born. And back in May, he came to me and asked if I would write a reference letter for him. And he was going to apply to be an officer here in his own community. And I greatly accepted that, wrote a letter, and he went through the process and was successful. So he, as everybody knows, he's quite the lacrosse player, having played in the Division I of the NCAA college ranks in the States. He's played for the Arrows, he's played for the Rebels, he's played for the Chiefs. So he's going to be a great mentor for the up and coming young people in our community. So it's my pleasure to introduce Tyson Bomber. He currently is on C Platoon under the leadership of Sergeant Gord Hill. And I'll let Tyson say a few words if he likes.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tyson. I'm just really excited to be able to, growing up in a policing family, I've been able to see the impact that my dad was able to have on the community and the people my age through coaching us in lacrosse and stuff. And I've just been able to being able to be a part of this now and be a part of this organization, that I'm going to be able to hopefully do the same for the next generation and to keep the community safe.
Thanks, Tice. Next is Richard Smith, aka Ricky. So this young fella is actually related to me through his father, and his grandfather and my mom were actually brother and sister. So it's a welcome addition because now I have cousins on both sides of the family and engaged in policing in the community. So Ricky grew up here as well. And coming out of school, he worked extensively in the community, helping various agencies and doing construction and working in maintenance of horses, etc. So he's no stranger to work. And again, he was successful going through the process. And in his interview, he says he wants to make a difference in the community. And I think our future's in good hands with these two young men that we've hired here. And most recently, we have another young fellow that's starting at the Ontario Police College tomorrow morning, is Quinn Paulus. So we actually got some pretty good lacrosse players here should we choose to put a team together somewhere. So I think I'll turn it over to Ricky, let him say a few words.
Hi everyone, I'm Rick. Very honored to get this position and excited to work within a community and give back after all the years and everything you give to me, and just to be a role model for the youth. Yeah.
Amazing.
Thanks, Ricky. So it's my honor to welcome these young men into the policing family here that we have. Thanks, Chief.
Well, thank you so much, Police Chief Darren. I just want to give an opportunity for any counselors that may have any maybe congratulatory words or comments or questions.
It's Melba. I do want to say, certainly I hope the entire reserve is very proud that, that we have a big population, that we have choices here. Who is going to fill a lot of these roles that are so very important to our people, whether it's safety and health and other areas. And he mentioned maintenance, all those kind of things. So I certainly welcome all the police officers that come before us and take that important role, because we know they take a risk almost every day of the kind of work that they're doing. So I certainly thank the police chief for his words, and also the young people in stepping forward to put their efforts into the safety of our community. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Melba.
Thank you. Thank you, Niao and Melba, for your words. I see a couple counselors' hands raised. I'm going to go to counselors Michelle first, and I'll move over to Audrey.
Thanks. Well, congratulations to Constable Bomber and Constable Smith. Welcome, and I know you both, so I'm sure that you'll learn a lot and be able to be that outstanding police officer. I do have a couple questions just on the presentation. So we introduced the chief of police. Were the deputy chief too, or is he just absent tonight?
He's absent tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was not available.
So just with process-wise, and I'm sure everybody's heard that I'm the stickler for process. So it's my understanding that those positions are to be appointed by the Six Nations elected body. So we need to do that process still. So on that note, we'll get that done, and congratulations to everybody on their new positions.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle. I'll now shift over. Okay, I have a lineup of speakers, so I'm gonna go next to counselors Audrey, and then Wendy, and then I believe I also seen there was one more before Sherry Lynn.
Hazel.
Hazel. Okay. So Audrey, you have the floor.
Hey, I just wanted to say thank you for applying and thank you for being successful. Congratulations, Darren. I haven't had a chance to congratulate you yet, but congratulations. And I know you're going to do an excellent job for Six Nations. And both these young men are going to do an excellent job as well. You have great leadership in the police. And I see why the people who who are your guiding forces are going to do a good job with you. Learn lots while you're here, enjoy yourself, and I look forward to working closely with the police. Yeah.
Thank you, Audrey.
Thank you, Audrey. Wendy has the floor next, and I'll move over to Hazel and then Sherry Lynn.
Yeah, I just echo the same regards. Congratulations to Police Chief Mentor. Really happy to see you in the position. Likewise to Constable Bomber and Smith. And I have to say Tyson, just to make it more personal. So really happy to see you in the positions as well. I do have a point of clarification as well, just building on what Michelle said. I mean, is there any reason why we couldn't pass a motion to do the appointment for the police chief now, since we've not done that? And I would think that's long overdue, given he's been in the position for a while. And I'd be happy to make that motion of that formal appointment. And the other piece of it is too, just for clarification. So Alicia presented as vice chair of the commission. I understood she was interim chair or acting chair, because we have other correspondence in camera that says we have a co-chair. So it's a little confusing in terms of what is the makeup of the accountable body. Thanks.
You're vice chair, aren't you?
So thank you, Wendy, for your comments. And there's some points of clarification that we'll get back to that were raised by both Michelle and Wendy. Before that, I'm going to move over to Hazel and then Sherry Lynn.
Yeah, I just want to offer my congratulations to Darren. He's my nephew. I feel proud of you, Darren. You worked hard to get to that spot, and just know you're going to do a good job. Over to Tyson and Ricky. I think it's so nice to see the young people come on to be police officers. I think our community is in good hands, because I hear Quinn Paulus is coming on too. So we're moving good, and we're moving in the right direction. So congratulations to all.
Thank you, Aunt Hayes.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Hazel. Sherry Lynn.
Mine's along the same lines. Again, congratulations and welcome to the three of you, and also to Quinn Paulus, and to step up to do this kind of work. So again, thank you, and all the best.
Thank you, Sherry Lynn.
Perfect. Thank you. Is there any other counselors that would like to have the opportunity? I see Counselor Helen.
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations to Darren. Quite sure you'll do a good job. Glad that you've came up the ranks, and I want to congratulate the two new officers. And I guess, like you said, there's another one coming up. So just hope y'all can get into the swing of things and do a good job, and yeah, be a good role model as mentors for our youth. So
thanks,
congratulations to you all.
Thank you,
Perfect.
Helen.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Helen. Any further questions or comments before we get into? Oh, sorry. I'll go to Counselor Carey and then over to Nathan.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate the three young men. Darren,
that didn't include me, I guess.
I was talking about you too, Darren.
Oh, were you? Oh, I was confused.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Tyson, Ricky, and Quinn. So
yeah, we've been on a few jobs together. So yeah. And Tyson, I knew your dad and your grandpa, so you come from a good line. Mr. Smith, not to really know you, but congratulations.
Thanks, Carrie.
Yep.
Thank you, Carrie, for that. Acknowledging Councilor Michelle's hand as well. Before that, I'll go to Nathan and then over to Michelle.
Thanks, Chief. And just wanted to quickly echo everyone's comments around congratulations, and definitely hold up you three for your service and eventual service to the community. So Nyawa, Chief Mentor, and welcome, and we look forward to your service as well, Constables Bomber and Smith. So I'll go.
Thank you, Nathan.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Nathan. Michelle.
So there is a motion to appoint Darren as a chief of police. I'll second that.
Yeah, so I was just going through to the congratulatory comments first and then just making my way back to that piece. So the motion is on the floor. It's moved by Wendy and second by Michelle to officially appoint Darren Montour as the Chief of Six Nations Police. Is there any further questions or comments to the motion? Okay, seeing or hearing none, all in favor?
Favor.
Favor.
Any opposed? Seeing or hearing none, motion's carried. Motion to waive second reading. Moved by Wendy, seconder. Second by Michelle. All in favor?
Favor.
Any opposed?
Favor.
Seeing or hearing none, motion's carried. Again, Council, and just to go back to the clarification point, just really quickly, if I can, to Alicia on the clarification, that may be my mistake as well as introducing you as the vice chair, but as the interim, is that the correct terminology or should we be using a different terminology?
According to our terms of reference, I am listed as the vice chair. And that is what the literature that was produced to the elected council is signed as is the vice chair.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that clarification. Okay, that being said then, Council, again, just want to congratulate each of you gentlemen on your new roles. I know it's definitely a difficult time, like Chief of Police had mentioned, you know, with COVID and everything else happening in our community. So definitely looking forward to working along your side to the overall betterment of our community. So again, congratulations to Tyson and Rick, as well as the other individual listed into our Chief of Police. So congratulations to all.
Thank you, Chief.
Now, okay, Council, that being said, then that will lead us into our next agenda item, which is the adoption of the General Council minutes of December 22nd.
I'll move that.
Oh, sorry. Michelle's got her hand up. Sorry, Councilor Michelle.
Oh, just I said I'll move those minutes, but also I did have a question. Do we appoint the deputy chief as well, even though he's not present, or do we defer that?
I think it would still be nice to have him in as an introduction, just much like we did this. So we'll work with his availability, and then we'll do the appointment during that time as well, if that's okay, Council.
Good.
Okay, is there any further questions or comments to the minutes?
I'll second Sherry Lynn.
Okay, it's moved by Michelle, second by Sherry Lynn. All in favor?
Favor.
Any opposed? Seeing or hearing none, motion's carried. Looking to then moving into our next piece of the agenda, which is recommendations from the Human Services Committee. Recommendation 1.
Melba? Recommendation from the Human Services Committee recommends to the Six Nations of the Grand River Elected Council to accept as information Bill C-3, an act providing for the development of a provincial framework on palliative care from the Legislative Assembly of Ontario and support the participation of Six Nations to contribute their expertise on future opportunities on working groups. I so move.
Seconded, Audrey.
Okay, thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Are there any further questions or comments?
Mark?
Question, Wendy?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with generally what it's saying, but should there be two different motions? Because when I read it, half of the motion said that we're accepting it as information. So that's one piece, right? So that usually means that we just acknowledge that it exists. but we're not doing any type of action or accepting it. But the other half of the motion reads that we're going to support the participation of Six Nations to contribute their expertise. So does that mean it's more than just information and we're actually acting on it? So should the motion be changed so that it's reflective of exactly what we're doing?
Okay, looking to the mover and seconder, and perhaps I believe our Director of Health is on the line as well, Lori Davis-Hill.
Hi, Scano. So I have no problems with separating those into two separate issues. We don't at this point have any awareness of potential an active search for or plan to move ahead with working groups. The request was support from council should we have to move quickly to be engaged so that we don't sort of lose that opportunity in meeting timely deadlines. So I guess I would turn to the mover and seconder for that separation of items.
Okay, thank you for that, Lori, and thank you for that, Wendy. Looking to then Melba and Audrey, if that's okay, to separate the two, the first one being as the accepting as information, and then now looking into a separate new motion that would read the support of the participation of Six Nations to contribute. Is that okay with the mover and seconder?
It's okay with me because I did find it kind of confusing too, because we should be elected council to accept Bill C3 from the Legislative Assembly of Ontario. So I do agree to separate.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Melba and Audrey. So it's agreed that we will separate the two motions. So the first one then being as information. Is there any further questions or comments to that one?
I do. I wonder if Lori can just give a brief background of sometimes people don't talk in terms of health and counsel at times, like palliative. Maybe some people don't understand what is palliative and what is this all about? What are we accepting? How is it going to work? I wonder if Lori can give a short, brief background. Thanks.
Sure, thank you for that, Melba. I'll shift over then to Lori.
So there has been a lot of work done. Palliative has a range of definitions, and essentially it is pain and symptom management for folks who are, dealing with life-threatening situations. It can be end-of-life care, but it's not necessarily end-of-life care. So the focus is really around quality of life. And so we have been providing palliative care here at Six Nations for many, many years, and have developed our own expertise and our own care models. And, our palliative care team was here with council a few months ago to get support around improving the access to palliative care for our community and making sure that we're doing it in a culturally sensitive, appropriate, and responsive way. And so we want to be, we're very encouraged that the province is now making this a priority, because we've seen it being made a priority federally. Now we're seeing it being made a priority provincially. And this should give us an opportunity to really step forward and be leaders in First Nations access to the appropriate palliative care for our community members.
Thanks,
That's
Lori.
great. Thank you. Thank you, Lori, for that.
Further to that,
sorry, Melba.
I will waive second reading on Bill 3, palliative care. I'll waive second reading on the recommendation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Melba. You're jumping ahead on us. We have yet to. No problem. We have yet to pass the first motion. So, is there any further questions or comments on accepting this piece as information? It's been moved and seconded. Moved by Melba, second by Audrey. Any further questions or comments? And thank you, Lori, for that background for community. Seeing or hearing no questions or comments, all in favor?
Favor.
Favor.
Any opposed? Seeing or hearing none, motions carried. We'll then look to the second piece of the motion, which is the support of the participation of Six Nations to contribute their expertise on future opportunities on work within working groups on an act to providing, again, the development of a provincial framework on palliative care. So we're basically just separating the two motions. Is there a mover to that effect?
I'll move.
Moved by Audrey. Oh, moved by Audrey, second by Melba. Are there any further questions or comments? Nathan.
Yep, supportive of this motion as well, but just a question, when available and when appropriate, would we be able to get a copy of any terms of reference or any kind of documentation supporting these potential working groups going forward? Just for our information and to kind of look at that on a political side as well going forward.
Absolutely, we will prepare, as soon as we hear anything. And I guess the request will also be from a political perspective. If you do hear of this opportunity coming forth, that we just work together to stay informed. So we'll definitely do that.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Lori, and thank you for the question, Nathan. Are there any further questions or comments to the motion? Okay, seeing or hearing none, all in favor?
Favor.
Favor.
Any opposed? Seeing or hearing none, motion's carried. Okay, Malva, now we can go back to you if you'd still like to waive second reading.
Okay, I'll jump there to waive second reading. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Malva. It's moved by Malva and seconded by Audrey to waive second reading on the two previous motions. Are there any further questions or comments? Okay, seeing or hearing none, all in favor?
Favor.
Any opposed? Seeing or hearing none, motion's carried. Okay, that then leaves us into our next piece of the agenda, which is under scheduling. Council, if you can just shift over to the calendars. I believe even for community, the agendas are within our Six Nations Facebook page. So we do have to confirm a couple dates within our schedules. The first one is in regards to the Gaming Commission. So looking to see availability from everybody to make sure that we can look to the best date to meet with the Gaming Commission. Just looking on if I can, Tammy, if you're on the line. Was there any suggested dates on behalf of the Gaming Commission?
There was nothing put forward. They were going to, I guess, make themselves available at council's pleasure.
Okay, council. So then we'll look to. I know we have a busy month. Well, we definitely have a busy year, but particularly this month of January, we seem to be filling up pretty quickly. So I'm going to look to February for the Gaming Commission. Is there any opposition to looking to February? Okay, that being said, then looking to see general finance, we have on the 15th, Tuesdays. I'm thinking I'm going to propose Tuesday, February 16th.
Chief?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Kerry.
Do we have two general finances in 1 month? Because I see on
Yes.
February the 1st is general finance,
Yeah,
and then again on that's the close
so
part of it?
it's usually the first and third Monday of every month is our finance meeting, and then our fourth Monday would be our political liaison meeting. And all of these portions, I'm not sure. I see that piece where it says closed as well. That may just be a typo. because all of our general counsels, all of our general finance, and as well as political liaison will be live on Facebook.
I think that means it's a holiday, isn't it, Chief? It's Family Day.
Oh, that's Family Day. That's correct. Thank you so much. So sorry about that. My apologies. Thank you for that, Michelle. I totally forgot. Every day is Family Day for me. So, we will look to the 16th. Still works, however, for the Gaming Commission. We will have to just look to also rescheduling general finance for that day. But I just want to look to see if the 16th is still okay for your schedules in regards to the Gaming Commission meeting. Thumbs up. I'm seeing thumbs up.
And what time?
Helen, did you have your hand up?
I was agreeing to the 16th.
Oh, okay. My apologies. Thank you, Helen. Wendy?
Can it be in the afternoon?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. So we'll work on, we'll set the date. We've got the date set. We'll work on the time, preferably the afternoon, and we'll get that sent out to full council just to confirm. Okay, council, the next piece that we need to confirm is in regards to the community standards meeting. There are dates that are available. We just need to choose one of those dates to include in our calendars. Audrey?
Recommend February the 2nd. We don't have council that day.
Okay, there's one recommendation. Does that work for a majority of council? February 2nd.
I'm not available.
Okay, Wendy is not. Is anyone else not available on the 2nd?
I think it's important.
Is there another date?
to be there.
Yeah, I think this definitely has to include all of us. So is there another date, Wendy, that you are available?
3 or 4?
Okay, looking to, so 3 or 4. So 3 is human services, so that would have to be in the afternoon if we choose. That might be a heavy day because I know, although we are working on the agendas on that piece.
Can I ask
the 4th? Sure, go ahead, Helen.
That's a dumb question. What's art?
Agenda review team.
ART. What is it? Oh, agenda
It's
review team.
Yeah.
Sit there all day trying to figure out what art was.
Yeah, so that's for our internal purposes. Oh, sorry, Darren, go ahead.
No, just quickly. We probably should avoid Wednesdays because we have committees most mornings and we have ECG every afternoon on Wednesdays.
Okay, so so is the 4th, the 4th is obviously a Thursday, correct? So does February 4th work for everybody on council? Looking to schedule community standards. Okay, I'm seeing thumbs up. So we'll go with that date of the 4th and we'll confirm all of these within your emails. So thank you for that, council. Just for the community. Oh, sorry, Sherry Lynn, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just got a question. Just for next council, can we have that cannabis update for the community?
Yeah. So they're actually, I believe they are on the agenda, but
Okay.
definitely will confirm that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sherry Lynn. Okay, council, just for community-wise, I know again agendas are available online. Tonight is our first meeting of 2021. We'll then move into B&I. Followed through the next week is our general finance meeting, which is on Monday, January 18th. Again, the open portion is live on Facebook. We are then going to move into the 19th, where we'll be having a special council meeting on global solutions. This is an opportunity for community to learn more about the global solutions. We'll be joined by Phil Montour and his team. We've changed the time so that it's more available for community members to join in on the discussion. So that will happen on the 19th at 6 p.m. Followed the next day into corporate and emergency services. All of our agenda review teams fall on the Thursdays. and then leading into the next week of political liaison, which again is live. And we've just scheduled our Gaming Commission and Community Standards meetings, which again, we'll look to further providing information to the community on that piece. Just before we adjourn to our in-camera session, I just want to make a note on, as we all are seeing the announcement and the announcement made by the province on more stricter measures that are going to be taking place as of 12:01 on Thursday. We are going to be meeting tomorrow as the emergency control group to discuss our next steps here in Six Nations. We are currently in our red color in our response framework. That could change depending on the conversation happening tomorrow at the emergency control group, which will have further recommendation to full council at that time. So again, council community, we're just asking for your patience and advising that we will be looking to next steps and we will be making an announcement in the next coming days. Helen, question, comments?
Yeah, I think it should be included in our calendar, the different kinds of meetings that we're attending as well. Because is Iroquois Caucus not on the 26th and the 27th?
Yes, that's a good point. We do have other external, the
crossing
Border Alliance.
I think we need to start putting those on the agenda because it could take up dates for something that we might be suggesting.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Thank you, Helen, for raising that. We'll make sure that we include that in our support staff, include all those pieces in, because there are, just for communities, again, for their information, these aren't just the only meetings, these are full council meetings. We will have committee meetings as well as external meetings that are happening with each councillor attending the different portfolios or committees rather. So we will look to include those meetings as well. Thank you for that note, Helen. Are there any further questions or comments in regards to our schedule? Okay, that being said, then just want to say thank you, Anyawa, for everyone joining in on the discussion. Part of our goal again is to make our meetings live and broadcast so that we can further have further engagement with community and look to inform and get more people involved in the discussion. So thank you for joining us. That being said, I'm now going to look to a motion to adjourn. Is there a mover to that effect? Moved by Audrey, second by Nathan. All in favor?
Favor.
Any opposed? Seeing or hearing none, motion's carried. Thank you everyone in council as well as community. We'll look forward to joining in at the next discussion at General Finance. Until then, please stay safe and we'll look to further announcements regarding COVID-19 in the coming days. Yahweh.
Oh, yeah.